I want you to just throw this racket over the net. That's really fascinating.
Yeah, I know.
That's unbelievable.
That's like 100% perfect.
Yeah. Where you deviate the most by far is from this position. As Roger's chest starts to turn up towards the point of contact, you'll see the bend in his elbow stays as his racket drops.
Right.
And so he maintains this angle here between his forearm and his bicep as his shoulder stretches and his body starts to rotate and pull the racket and his arm and his shoulder up towards the point of contact. And so here, the place that I stopped it, let's stop it right here as his chest is facing upwards.
Yeah.
And so check out this this angle right here between his forearm and his bicep.
Yeah.
For you, as you start rotating upwards, your arm extends.
Yeah.
At this chest position here, it's really kind of fascinating because like your body and like hip and like torso positions are really, really similar. But yeah, there's a minor difference in that he's maintained that elbow position and you've completely straightened your arm out. You've completely extended your arm.
So this is very interesting because Miguel has a unique situation where he can throw the ball with pretty good mechanics. He can actually throw a racket and throws it up on edge with very good mechanics. But there's some disconnect when the ball and the serve come into play and he actually straightens his arm and pushes or pulls up towards the ball rather than coming up on edge. We're going to take really slow progressions and work on mainly the part from the trophy position to coming up on edge to the ball. Because we really feel like if we don't make this significant change for him, that there's gonna be injury down the line, and we definitely don't want that.
And I just want to draw your conscious attention to just one thing. As your body starts to turn forwards, if your hand and your shoulder does what they're supposed to do, you should feel a stretch right here as I kind of push against your hand. This is what I want you to really cue in on consciously. So for each of the subsequent shadow swings, I want you to feel for that stretch on the front of your shoulder. Here's your very last execution here. Great trophy pose. Body's turning, hand drops.
Bring that, I guess, yeah. Bring the hip a little bit.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm totally fine with that for now.
Okay.
Because it's just a stationary
Position.
Yeah, I'm not worried about everything hitting the exact position. Our primary focus is this elbow, not straightening and extending, but maintaining that bend, and that we're hitting. All right, now we're going to do a set of 3 repetitions. The first 2 will be the slow, smooth shadow swings, just like what you're doing. And then on the third one, when you take your racket back, I'm going to put a ball up in the air, and your goal is to move all through that same motion and bring the racket smoothly up to where contact would be made. Yep. And if it's not in exactly the right spot, it's not your fault. It's my fault. I'm going to try to put it in a spot that it works with the tempo that you're. So in other words, I don't want you to deviate from.
Same tempo.
Exactly. Yeah. Let me worry about putting the ball in the right spot. But you're doing a really nice
The
job.
idea of fake tossing can be so difficult for a lot of people, but it's very important because by throwing the ball way outside of where you would ever make contact with it can still often trigger the old habits that you've ingrained in your brain. And so it's a good mechanism to go from shadow swings to hitting the ball, because without that fake toss step in there, that's a huge jump between absolutely no ball to making contact with the ball. So we've found that the fake toss is that sweet balance right in the middle that really can help you to ingrain a new habit while also maintaining the trigger of possibly hitting the ball, even though the ball is way outside of your contact point.
So here's your last shadow swing in this set. Maintain the arm.
Yeah.
Extending up to contact.
Yeah.
That's good. And now here's with the ball. Watch the elbow.
Yeah.
Wow. You went deeper. Nice job. Really nice. And you're extending all the way up to contact. Okay, I'd love to see you do your own fake toss now. Oh, snap. Let me see that. What do you think happened? What's your guess?
I tried. I probably changed my path a little bit so that I could contact it, to be honest.
Yeah, the toss wasn't in a place
The
where you
toss wasn't
should have
in-
tried to hit it.
No,
But what do you think? What about our main focus, though?
no, it came down. I could feel that.
Great. Yeah.
Came down. So
You're-
I really
you're
didn't
right,
care
it
what was
did.
going to happen with the ball.
Oh, it looks so good. Golly.
And now what?
Yeah. So the toss was not in a place that
Yeah,
you
yeah.
should have tried to hit it.
No, it was behind me.
It is what it
typically
is.
happens.
Look at that trophy position there, too.
But this is
Yeah, it's really
exactly
good.
what we want. You maintain the elbow position. You totally got rid of the elbow tuck.
I think just told me to relax and try not to hit it for a while at least.
Yeah. So on your next fake toss, I want you to toss it not
Like
even in the
perfect.
same
Not even
like
the same
hemisphere. Fake toss. Not hittable. What did you feel?
I wasn't sure. I might have straightened it out.
Yeah, you did. I don't think it was a full.
No, it wasn't a bend. It may not have been.
It's a tweener.
Yeah.
It's a tweener.
Yeah, it was in between. Let me show them real quick.
I'm just going to toss it.
Let's practice your bad tosses. Here it is. So no elbow tuck. That's good. And you initiated really well, but then as you kind of I think realized
Yeah.
that I'm going to hit this ball.
Then I got to swing that out.
Yeah. Then your arm kind of pulled out. It didn't fully extend until contact.
Yeah.
So that's good. Like Kevin said, it's basically in between execution.
One of the hardest things about making a significant change in any of your strokes, and especially the serve, because there's so many moving parts, is that you have to keep that one focal point, but that if you see that you move on to a new progression and that focal point is not sticking, that you're reverting back to something that you used to do, go back a progression and do a couple extra. So instead of us just going from shadow swing to fake tossing to hitting some balls with Miguel, we did an extra step in there because he was struggling and seeing some of the reversion when we went back to actually hitting the ball. And so we added in, okay, now let's try doing a shadow, a far fake toss, and now a near fake toss. So we added in an extra baby step. And I think sometimes that's seen as a bad thing, but the more you can do what's tailored to what you need to do to get to 70% execution at each progression is really what you need to be focusing on. So don't feel like it's a bad thing that if you're struggling and you see yourself reverting back to your old habits, go back a progression and do some more ingraining in your brain in that progression before moving on. That's how you're going to see the most success in making any transition in any stroke, and especially your serve.
So let's go to a set of 3 different repetitions now. It's going to be 1 shadow swing, 1 fake toss, but like a relatively close one, and then 1 real toss where you actually hit the ball. And there's only one objective. It doesn't matter where the ball goes. It doesn't even matter if you hit the ball in the 3rd repetition. All that matters is this, the commitment to the elbow and the shoulder stretch.
So we've been kind of hanging out at this progression because he's having a little bit of trouble, which is totally fine because he's going to take this progression home and really work on it a lot so that he can see a high execution rate and be able to see great improvements in his serve over time.
It's a really, really big change. This is the old one. Yep, the elbow tuck and then arm extension. And then here's the one that you just did with the ball. No elbow tuck, racket drop, and then extension up to contact. Nice job.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good work.
Thanks, guys.